What island are we in?
Sardinia.
Sardinia. We're in our second full day in Sardinia, in between the town of Alghero and the town of Bosa. And there's cliffs and caves on one side, and the blue water on the other side, and everything's in bloom. And yesterday, we saw probably the coolest cave any of us have ever seen. It was kind of hard to get here, but so far, it's been really worth it.
We're Chris and Hillary, and along with our friends Shelly and Caroline, we're heading out to explore the Italian island of Sardinia by bike.
Last time we took a bus, a plane, and a ferry, and we finally arrived in Porto Torres on the north side of the island late one afternoon in May.
So right now we are just a few minutes outside of Porto Torres. We just got off of the ferry from Barcelona. It was a 12-hour overnight ferry ride. I think everyone slept pretty well overnight and then took a nap, and we're ready to go. So we have a couple hours of daylight left, and we're going to try to get about 30 kilometers from Porto Torres to an area that looks like a cool, remote, cliffy beach area that we should hopefully be able to find a good wild camping site. And if we don't have the oomph for that, we'll try to pull over and find something sooner.
It smells good.
Yeah, it does.
It had been about a year since our last long bike trip, and it felt so good to be back on the bike.
This really feels the same.
Yep, like we could have just been doing this the whole time.
The road out of Porto Torres was a little hectic. Italian drivers weren't giving us much room, and for the first time we experienced Italy's narrow shoulders and the tendency to bury utility lines inside existing roads, making for some pretty poor road surfaces. It's a terrible shoulder. Hopefully this is less busy.
I think so. I think the other one is an orange road that we just got off of.
Okay, and this
now
is
we're on a white road, not even yellow.
Cool.
This is the one that'll take us up through the mountains.
Okay.
We had been looking for water along the route, but hadn't spotted any, so we stopped at a small church. The patrons directed us to a spigot around the back.
We got booped by a fly. I think that this is the path.
After a long few days of traveling, we had finally achieved our first milestone of the trip, and now we would spend the next week or so cycling down the coast. But first, we needed to find a place to sleep. Well, I feel like out here is kind of windy.
Yeah. That is the thorn vine.
Is the gray part the head? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gray is for gray matter. How about that?
Gray is for gray matter.
Yeah.
Put it by your noggin.
I feel like if I were you, I'd be like, what did we get ourselves?
No, not at all.
No, wait.
I don't think we feel that way.
That ride was so freaking cool.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And it's just like, at this point in life and at this age, I feel like maybe it's kind of rare to do something like this with your friends
Yeah.
for that long.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that.
The next morning, we planned to head down to Neptune's Grotto, a sea cave further down the coast. On the way, we followed the rough coastal roads to Turkish Cove, one of the many remote coves that line the coast of Sardinia.
Are we mountain biking? Are we mountain biking?
That looks like a big drop off.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm going. lord. Not that way. Okay. Falling.
That was graceful.
Okay. Well. Jet lag in the last few days of travel meant we were all a little tired.
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll.
While you can take a boat to the cave entrance, the path to the sea cave is worth the trip in itself. 654 stairs lead down the goat steps to the cave's entrance. While the cave is 4 kilometers deep, only a few hundred meters are accessible to the public and must be visited as part of a guided group.
Next, off towards Alghero.
We were headed into a more populated area, so we decided to find a campground to sleep in. We were surprised by how expensive the campsite was, and the fact that it charged per person rather than per site.
It's a video.
Yep.
How's the sandwiches?
Muy rico. So good.
While Sardinia is a state of Italy, it has its own culture and language. The island was once part of the Roman Empire. The Sardinian language is considered to be the closest to Latin today, though it retains some elements from the pre-Roman language. We have to go walk on the Roman bridge. This was restored in the Middle Ages. The city of Alghero and the surrounding land was colonized in the Middle Ages by the Crown of Aragon. So in addition to speaking Italian and Sardinian, the locals here speak Algherese, a dialect of Catalan. The town is known for its ancient walls, cobbled center, and shopping. Since shopping isn't high on our to-do list, we stopped to pick up some groceries for lunch and then headed toward the colorful town of Bosa. Bosa! That way?
Yep. To Bosa.
The road between Alghero and Bosa is one of the most beautiful cycling roads in Sardinia. It was also going to be the hardest stretch yet, with over 2,500 feet of climbing, and we were starting right in the middle of the day.
You're on my hands. Oh, you're on my body.
Biked up a the mountain. Day 3. Woo! Coming at you.
This road is, I'm gonna regret saying this, but has less traffic than I thought it was going to. And there was a water fountain. We got our shirts wet, and now we're biking in air conditioning.
We wanna blow your mind.
I forgot the word.
Watch me now! Hey! Work, working, baby, work. Come stai?
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Yeah.
Woo! Ah! Oh my goodness. That is terrifying.
Well, that's cool.
That was cool.
Best 4 bikes that we ever saw in Turkey ever. The whole time. I think it's the top. Yay!
That's good news.
Pretty cool here.
Follow this way for 7.2 kilometers.
Okay. Do what I want, woman.
Oh, wow.
That was so fun.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that was worth it. Big
This is
old
like-
long downhill.
This is like,
Did you use your brakes at all? I'm just curious.
we finally made it into Bosa in the mid-afternoon and checked into the Queen Bosa Hotel, which was beautiful, definitely recommend it, but it had more stairs than my legs felt like dealing with after a long day.
An old tannery town, Bosa today is a colorful village usually visited as a day trip from Alghero. With most of the other tourists gone for the evening, it was pleasantly relaxed. Yep.
I bet we're gonna bike up that road.
That day had been a challenge, and Bosa was such a sweet little town that we decided to spend an extra night there.
In the morning, we explored the Bosa Cathedral before heading up the hill to the castle. The guy manning the front desk of the hotel we had stayed at had pointed us to a local cove to explore. So, after a quick snack, we took the unloaded bikes out for an afternoon adventure.
Just pure goodness. Pure Italian goodness.
burrata and basil and focaccia and tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
But Sardinia is steep. The path to the cove ended up being a little bit more than we had bargained for. Caroline and Shelley headed back to rest for another big day tomorrow, and Chris and I pushed on.
Hi.
Where are we?
Someplace cool.
Not allowed to say.
What's my life? Oh yeah, without a little June, without the sunshine and the blue.
We have to go over there.
Well, definitely. Which way are you going?
Is it?
I think they're salt crystals.
Sometimes people ask what we do with our bikes when we go and do cool things. Sometimes we just hide them. We don't really worry about it too much. Because if we lose our bikes, then it just becomes a different kind of vacation.